let's show you what happened on Tuesday night. LeBron and the Lake Show in OKC. Good start for the King. First play of the game, LeBron attacks the rack and gets the and one finish. Lakers would start the game on a 7-0 run. Then more from LeBron. Gets behind the defense, catches the lob, and then throws down. He scored 10 points in the first quarter of a playoff game for the 75th time in his career. The next closest behind him is KD with 47. Under 2 to go in the first, Shai Gilgeous-Christina Alexander with the pretty baseline jumper there. Ties the game up at 24. Under a minute to go, SGA driving past the Laker defense, gets the bucket and the foul as he is wont to do. JJ Redick not loving the call. Second quarter, Chet Holmgren showing up on both sides of the floor, blocking DeAndre Ayton. The play continues, and eventually it's Holmgren catching a lob from Isaiah Hartenstein for a flush. OKC up 9 at that point, later in the second. Holmgren just padding his stats here, misses the bunny, but grabs the rebound and throws it right back in. OKC up 11. Holmgren, quite the first half. 18 points in the first half, his second most in the first half of his playoff career, and the Thunder led by 8 at the break. Early third, Thunder up 10, SGA driving, oh look at the pretty crossover, and throws it up to Holmgren, who throws it down. 24 points and 12 boards for the 7-footer. He was massive in this game for OKC. But look at this point in the third quarter. OKC only up by 4. The Lakers were hanging tough, but then the MVP takes over. Oh, goes right through the defense and lays that one in off glass. A modest 18 points for SGA and 6 assists, but it was more than enough because the Lakers turn it over here, going the other way. Eventually, Jared McCain off the bench buries the 3. Thunder win game 1, 108-90. They cover. They're 5-0 in the playoffs thus far. SGA, as I mentioned, 18 points last night, snapping his playoff streak of 13 straight games with 20 points. He has failed to reach the 20-point mark in 4 playoff games of the last 2 seasons, compared to just once in the regular season over that span. Here is the league MVP with more.
How would you grade your individual performance tonight?
It was okay. It wasn't my best, wasn't my worst. I was loose with the ball, had a lot of turnovers. But I think that goes into the rust of not playing for a little bit.
When you play against the world champions, having a guy that averages 34, 6 and 8 and 8 and 9, whatever the hell that's special. So we have to be better at finding ways to get to the blender, finding ways to get to the paint.
The Morning Buzz treating us to the presence of NBA analyst Michael Wilbon up early with us here on SportsCenter. Michael, SGA got plenty of help from his friends. LeBron, though, who led all scorers in the game with 27, did not. Are the others around LeBron, in your estimation, capable of raising their offensive play to make this a competitive series?
They're going to have to, particularly Austin Reeves. And I know it's still, he was out for a month or so. But 3 for 16 and 8 points from Austin Reeves is not going to cut it. This isn't, 3 or 4 years ago when Austin Reeves was just coming along and trying to find himself and, being integrated into that lineup as a major player. Austin Reeves has got to be there. Averaged 23 points a game during the regular season. So 3 for 16, not going to cut it. Hachimura scored to some degree, but when you look at Luka sitting on that bench, they've got to come up with something other than just LeBron, who got off to that great start, which was necessary. But, a 27-point night from LeBron now, you're asking plenty. You're not going to ask him for a 40-piece, not at this point in the playoffs against a team as good and as deep as Oklahoma City.
Yeah, we'll see if Luka is able to return in this series. Of course, the Lakers could sure use it. Michael, stand by 1 minute because Christina wants to ask you about the other game we saw last night.
Yeah, just 1 minute for game 1 between the Cavs and the Pistons. Cade Cunningham ready to go as always. Pistons were up by 11 here with under 4 to go in the first quarter. Cunningham having a great time. Goes from deep. It's good. Up by 16. James Harden turning it over. Keep that in mind. Ron Holland, the second on the break, finishes plus the foul. So Pistons were cruising up 13 at the break. We're going to take it into the third quarter. Cavs down by 3. It's Cunningham again. Steals it from Harden. Another turnover for the Beard. Asar Thompson there finishing with the jam. Cunningham's 17-point teammates scored 17 points on 70% shooting off of his passes. That's per ESPN tracking. Donovan Mitchell wanted nothing to do with it. Cavs were still down, and Max Strus was going to make this one exciting as well. Quick catch shoot from the corner. That's money. Cavs were down only by 3 early in the fourth. Jalen Duren now with the offensive rebound off the free throw. Duncan Robinson taking full advantage. 4-3. Got it. Pistons up by 9. It's Robinson again. Scores the floater plus the foul. Was so hyped he decided to yell in James Harden's face. Harden pushes him off. He wasn't having a good night at all. At least here it looks good. Floats one up and in. That was part of a 9-0 Harden run to tie it. Harden again working basically on his own. Drives it, floats it. Duren swats it away though. Duren said, "Let me just remind you that it is my house. I offer you coffee, not the other way around." Cunningham drops it off to Duren for the powerful dunk. Pistons up by 4. Looking to take game 1. Cunningham wanted to make sure of that. And Duren again with another big dunk. 11 points, 12 rebounds for him. Cunningham from the mid-range, from any range really, it was good with 23 points. Pistons up by 7. Danis Jenkins now grabs a loose ball. Let's put a bow on it with the dunk, and does. 23 from Harden, 22 from Mitchell. Not enough because the Pistons take game 1, 111. Michael Wilbon back with us. So let's talk about James Harden, Michael. As I mentioned, 7 turnovers. He blames himself for the loss to Detroit. But what's reasonable to expect from Harden given his history of postseason woes?
That is a great question. 7 turnovers. He was hard on himself, and he needed to be. And so much of the conversation, wow, for a whole career has been about James Harden and inability or failures or coming up short or something going on during the playoffs, particularly deep in the playoffs. Now we're early in the playoffs. Game 1, no 7 turnovers. Look, Detroit has trouble scoring. We know that. But when they get 31 points off 20 turnovers, 7 by Harden, that is a huge contribution, just sort of a gimme for the Pistons, who got the scoring from Tobias Harris and Duncan Robinson they need. But so much of it was off turnovers. So James was right to be hard on himself. The question now is, if he can keep the scoring just where it was, be a little bit more efficient, but there's no way that Cleveland can survive in a series that's been as close. That's 3-2, not in the playoff series, but this season, Detroit over Cleveland. All these games decided closely. 7 turnovers is not going to cut it. So he's going to have to protect the ball much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Not to add insult to injury, but last night was Harden's 29th career playoff game with more turnovers than made field goals. Michael will be back with us next segment to preview tonight's doubleheader on ESPN. Michael, thank you.